Hi folks, hello and welcome back to another video right here on the channel. So we're up to episode 4, Melody, of the Talisman series, and you couldn't be with us last month because you were out working, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
Between our work schedules.
I just hope you all missed me.
I know a couple of people who did. Okay, so between our work schedules we couldn't be in the same place at the same time. Video needed doing. You content creators out there know what it's like, or certainly ones on a schedule at least. Okay, so up to episode 4. So episode 1, we told you a wee bit about it, where we were going. Episode 2, we unboxed the main board game, didn't we? Last month's episode was the gameplay video, so everyone hopefully is up to speed. Had some lovely feedback about like the gameplay and all that kind of thing, how certain people like to play. I know Jimmy said he'd love to play it and stuff. So what we're going to do now is, across the rest of the series, we're going to unbox every single expansion. Not that I'm mad or a completionist or I love this game that much, I've got absolutely everything in it. Okay, so rewinding back to the first episode, I'd said about the expansions, and they're basically, there's different types. There's like small box expansions and medium box expansions, and what the next 4, this and the next 3 are going to be, is going to be the bigger expansions. And what they do is they put an area on the edge of the board. Okay, so we're doing the dungeon today. Okay, now what you could do potentially is you could play the game, I mean you need a really big table to be fair, but you could play the game with the dungeon, the city, the woodland and the mountains all on different corners. Okay, go around. If you think back to last month, those of you who watched it, if you haven't, go back and have a look at it. You basically go around the board and then you go into the inner circle and you go into the middle, you know, and you do that. But while you're going around, what these do, more so, I seen the dungeon first, and everyone who knows me knows the fact how much I love dungeon crawls. How many dungeon crawling games have I got in my collection?
A lot.
Quite a lot, yeah. So what this does basically is it gives you another area of the world. So you could play the game and never use this. You'd be silly if you didn't, because you had a fully functioning dungeon onto an already amazing board and game world. And do you remember back when we were doing the introduction and I told the folks you also get extra characters to play in these expansions, so it's worth it for that. So if we were playing tonight and Mel said let's play the city, so we put the city on and there was a character that she wanted to play, we could just take that character out this box and you can play the game with that character. You don't need, you know what I mean, the characters aren't specific to the dungeon, to the city, to the woodland or to anything else. Okay, so there we go guys. So this is of course Pegasus Spiel. Okay, those of you who've tuned in for the series know the history of Pegasus Spiel and Games Workshop and whose game it was and all that. Okay, so there's the back. So straight away you can see here is like an L-shape area. Okay, now that just literally fits onto the corner of the board. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll give you a little bit of a blast, a little bit of flavour text, and then we'll get into what our Mel does best.
The unboxing bit?
The unboxing bit, okay. Talisman, the Magical Quest game, revised 4th edition, the dungeon expansion. The ancient door crumbles to splinters. Okay, your cleated boot kicks away rolling wood and your sword clears thick cobwebs from your path. Your torch throws darting shadows and damp stone walls, and the dungeon lies revealed. Sorry guys. Okay, blind and old age. Okay, do you have the courage to plunge into the darkness and confront its perils? Legends say that in the deepest pits of the abyss, the Lord of Darkness stands watch over a vast treasure that even includes a portal that leads to the renowned Crown of Command. Yet there's something in this dungeon where you can find, and you can go all straight away into the middle of the board.
Ooh.
Wouldn't be recommended if you weren't powerful enough, but there might be somebody who dare do it. Okay, so it says Talisman the Dungeon adds a new region to the game for heroes to explore, what I was saying before. A custom fitted map board and over 100 new cards bring this subterranean realm vividly to life. 5 brand new characters, the formidable gladiator, noble Amazon, dashing swashbuckler, enigmatic gypsy and sagacious philosopher are each brought to life with a superbly detailed plastic miniature and offer fantastic new playing experiences, brave untold dangers, and discover what lies in the darkness beneath the world of Talisman. So there we go guys, there are your new miniatures that we're going to find. Okay, removing the spectacles and opening the box. Okay, all together now. Eyes up, Mel and I. Okay, you love these, don't you? The unboxings. Okay, so not running inside the box, guys, just plain. So we have a small rule book, which will just give us the ins and outs of the way we run the dungeon. I'll go over that in a minute. Oh, here's the good stuff.
Oh, I love the artwork.
Yeah, you do, don't you? You like me, aren't you? A massive fan of the Talisman.
Yeah.
So if you'd be as kind as to just show the new cards. These are the character cards, guys.
Yeah. So we've got a gladiator.
Gladiator, yep.
A swashbuckler. A philosopher. Oh, the gypsy.
Could be interesting.
And Amazon.
The Amazon. Okay, so there we go. There are our character sheets. Each one, again, guys, like the original game, has a special ability. So just quickly, the Amazon, okay? You may roll 2 dice for your movement to choose one of the results to choose your move. So if you recall from last month, you roll a dice for your movement.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives her a special ability. And again, if you look at the sides, guys, she has different numbers. So all the different characters have, like, they'll start off with different health, different magic. Well, it's craft, isn't it, we call it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put that aside for a moment. So we have a set of cards. So they look, if you just show the top one, that says trapdoor. Okay, so that's going to be a set of cards that we're going to find within the dungeon. Okay, and that is a rune dancer, a craft of 6, so that is obviously a monster. So what you can do, guys, let's say you're going to go around the board, and if you choose to, and this is on the board, you're going to go in, and you're going to explore around, you're going to meet monsters. When you defeat them, you're going to access to new treasure, and stuff like that. And what you can do is you actually mix the event cards, the adventure cards from the original game, in with those.
Ah, okay, fine.
Okay, or you can have like a separate deck just for like the dungeon area.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get some baggies. Baggies are always welcome. And then we have, I'm hoping, yeah. I was like, alright, what? First time I'm opening this, I'm just like, what, where the heck are my minis? So we have a bag of minis. So I'm just going to ask Mel to take those out. I won't ask you to identify them. If you can, you do. If you can't, don't worry. Okay. He looks like a swashbuckler, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, is that the gypsy?
A gypsy.
Looks like she's dancing. Yeah, a little bit closer to the camera, please. Is that the philosopher? He looks a little bit like a kind of
he does.
philosopher kind of guy, doesn't he?
Looks like he's thinking.
That'll be our Amazon.
Amazon.
I nearly said Glamazon then. And our last guy, the gladiator. Okay, so again, if you ever wanted to paint these, you know, you could do happily. So there are 5 more of our world's characters. I don't know how in the heck oh, there we go.
Oh, wow, it's bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, well, just think how big the board is.
Wow, the board's massive anyway.
That is, I'm going to pull it back there so you can see it, okay? So, there you go. That is your little adventure within the dungeon. Crikey. So, yeah, so each one of these squares, again, I think, yeah, each of the squares, you basically pull like an adventure card out. So, you are literally fighting your way through. So, it's more of like a risk reward. So just use the rule book here for a minute, okay? You'd have, the rule book is like the original board. Imagine that as like the core of the original board, okay? And this fits on the end. Now, if you see the size of this is approximately, oh crikey, I'd say about maybe 15 centimetres by down and 15 across. Now, if you imagine the actual Talisman board with each corner filled in, okay? It just, that is, yeah.
Wow.
You've got just things like tunnels, corridor, dungeon entrance, okay? Kitchen, caverns, cell. For instance, say if you landed on like the cell, you're going to lose 1 follower. It says you must leave at least 1 of your followers in the cell. If there are any followers already here, you may take 1 of them with you. Okay, so say for instance, if Melody had been round here and she'd left like 1 of her followers there, I could follow the path, get through into the dungeon when she was either there or she'd gone, and I could take that follower.
Yeah.
So you're like either jailing someone or releasing them, you know, springing them from jail.
Cool.
So yeah, again, if you go back to last month's video where you have a look at like the gameplay, it's essentially the same. There's like a certain part of the board that lines up with the entrance to the dungeon.
Yeah.
So say if you were like say 2 spaces away from like the dungeon and you rolled say a 5, you go 1, 2 on the board,
and then you do
3 into the dungeon, 4, 5 within the dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope I explained that well enough for you guys. As we have a look at our first region. Okay, so the book is typical Talisman fare, but it's got all our heroes drawn on there, which is nice. Yeah, so it just offers us a list of the different components. Bear in mind, Talisman, this is your game, mix and match it.
Yeah.
Mix and match it, put whatever you want on there. Don't have anybody saying to you, you can't do this, there's a rule there that says that.
Yeah.
Nah, no chance. Okay, tells you how to set the board up. Okay. Example of entering the dungeon, it's just as I've just literally said it to you, where you've got to roll to be able to get into there. So say it's 3 away, you need to roll 3 or more. Okay. Yeah. And it's the same to get out as well, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, moving in the dungeon. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it just tells you again, same as if you're playing a normal game.
Yeah.
Roll 4, you move 4 spaces. Okay, remember guys, one way or the other. None of this, move 3, back 1. No. You roll, you do your full. Tells you how you leave the dungeon. Oh, treasure chamber. At the end, there is like a little treasure chamber as well, guys. So that's where like you obviously get your goodies and that item that can teleport you straight from the dungeon to the Crown of Command, and you can start zapping people. Okay. Yeah. So you fight the Lord of Darkness. It tells you how you claim the treasure, and then basically just other rules. I mean, look at some of the artwork there. You know, it's just really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to unboxing and, more importantly, adding these to the table. You know, to be able to play. I mean, I can imagine if you had like a sort of standard game of Talisman. I think I read somewhere it's supposed to be about an hour per person, which is about right because we've played a couple of games. It took a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You can add like a little longer on there as well, guys. But I mean, these are well worth it, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it gives you alternative rules to like running the game, run the short dungeon, and that kind of thing. And the credits on the end. And interestingly enough, Games Workshop's logo is still on there. I don't know what that's about, but hey ho. So guys, we've got through the first expansion. What do you think? Do you like the look of this?
I do, yeah.
Would you deliberately go around the board, doing what you're doing, building all your powers up, getting all your stuff, and then deliberately jump in the dungeon and go and explore it, or would you?
I'd definitely explore.
Yeah, I think I would as well, because it just adds that extra dimension to your game. You know, I say Talisman standalone, amazing. I solo it all the time, and whatever, or we get a game if we can, and whatever. I want to introduce like the gaming group to it as well. But I mean, maybe at some point, I'm not dedicating myself to this, but maybe possibly a gameplay with like one of these corners on the board would be fun, just to show folks what it's about. So does that excite you guys? You know, what do you think about like expanding the game? If it was your game and you were playing on that big size board, would you like to expand this?
Yeah.
Would you be as mad as I am and want to put something on all 4 corners? You know? Okay, so I think next month we're going to be exploring the city.
I'm looking forward to the city and the woodland.
And the woodland's really interesting. Okay, guys, so yeah, comments below for me. Just you know, say hi, let me know how you're enjoying the series. Out of the 4, like the mountain, the woodland, the city or the dungeon, what would you buy first? I did buy the dungeon first because I thought if I can't afford or I can't get hold of any other one, at least I've got a little bit of a dungeon fix within an already fantastic game. Okay, before we go, you know what I'm going to say. If you're new here and you like what you see, before you hit that subscribe button, have a look at the back catalogue of some more of the games, the rest of the series. If you're happy and you want to stay for a wee while, why not? Hit that subscribe button, okay? Like the video. Please share, because we're trying to get, you know, like move along. We enjoy making the videos, folks, don't we?
Yeah.
And all that. More importantly, and all that Melody, what they got to do? Leave
us a comment below.
Leave us a comment below, okay? Tell us if you're new to the series, if you play Talisman, etc, what you're looking forward to, and all that. Do you like the new characters? Which one of them would you play? Okay, gonna leave it there, folks. Until next month, we shall see you later.
Bye-bye for now.